When looking back at the Minnesota Vikings haul, what does it mean when dissecting who was their best pick and what overall grade would you give them now?
2019 class.
Here you go. Let me rip it out for you real quick.
I got it in front of me here. Yeah, go ahead.
Bradbury, Irv Smith, Alexander Madison in the third round, Drew Samia, Cameron Smith, linebacker from USC, Armon Watts, Marcus Epps, Oli Udoh, Chris Boyd, Dylan Mitchell, Olabisi, Austin Cutting. So this is a classic Spielman where he trades back, stockpiles day 3, 6th, 7th rounders. What do you have? 7, 6th, and 7th rounders collectively. Kind of an incomplete. If I had to give a grade, Sam, I guess I'd give it maybe like a C-, because first and foremost, you got to hit on your first round pick. Didn't hit on Garrett Bradbury. Now, the discussion's not over. We'll see what he does with the new coaching staff, new regime under KOC, but not looking great. Irv Smith flashed when he's out there. Still, again, though, back-to-back years on the IR with ACL injuries. Alexander Madison's been a great running back up to Dalvin. Dalvin always gets dinged up, misses a couple games. He's been really solid. Drew Samia was a miss. Cameron Smith, open heart surgery. He's got to quit football. Armon Watts, Oli Udoh, Chris Boyd, and Olabisi. There's, I guess, some glue in the cracks of your roster right there. Some good depth pieces there. Nothing that screams, oh my gosh, you found a Hall of Fame diamond in the rough on day 3, though.
Yeah, so you've got 12 picks here. 7 of them are on the team still, so you've already lost 5. Of those 7, Luke, it's conceivable that none of them will sign a second contract with this team.
That's wild.
Garrett Bradbury is in a contract year, and unless he shows massive improvement, he's gone. I don't think he's coming back. Irv Smith Jr., now this one, the Vikings just may not be able to afford Irv, because if he plays the way that he's capable, and this is probably the best pick in this draft, if Irv plays that well, and the Vikings know they have to pay Jefferson coming up, I don't know if they can afford Irv Smith.
Yeah, Irv's going to get paid. Kind of a lose-lose. Either he stays healthy and he blows up, and then you got to pay him, or he ends up getting hurt again, and you just have to let him go after 3 straight years on the IR. You're right.
Yeah. The tight end depth is a real concern on this team. I mean, Madison, nice player, probably not coming back. Armon Watts, nice player. Don't know what his future holds. Oli Udoh, don't see a future for him. Chris Boyd, for a 7th-round pick, got some special teams work out of him. And then Olabisi Johnson, obviously a nice hit on the front end. Haven't gotten anything from him for 2 years, though. So, I think I said the word nice a couple times. Yeah, some nice picks. Nothing's blowing me away. And the best pick that you had, Irv Smith, got hurt in his potential breakout year. So it feels to me like a D. I mean, if you can't re-sign one of these guys for one reason or the next, that's a pretty alarming indictment on the way that those players were developed.
Yeah, still hinging again on your first 2 picks. It's not over, but you start to hear the fat lady singing a little bit here in the background. Irv Smith, again, a lot of excitement, a lot of potential. Fans, coaches starting to mumble a little bit. This could be his breakout year finally. We've seen it, but now he needs to put it all together. And then Garrett Bradbury, I guess you're just rolling the dice on a new coaching staff, new regime, new system that ends up helping him flip the switch on and revive his career. When you look at the 2019 draft just as a whole, Vikes could have had Jeffrey Simmons, who went 1 pick after them to the Tennessee Titans. Obviously, one of the best defensive tackles in the entire league now. And then, like we mentioned, you could have got Elton Jenkins, sniped him from the Packers, and you could have left there with Jeffrey Simmons, Elton Jenkins. Easy to say, of course, but I remember thinking back, boy, if Jeffrey Simmons ends up being as good as he could be, he was coming off an ACL tear, he should have went in the top 5, 7 picks anyways. Only reason he fell that far and so many teams passed on him was because of the injury scares. But looking back, easy to say for sure, but man, can you imagine what this team would look like right now with those 2 guys, Jeffrey Simmons and then Elton Jenkins? That would have been nice. Yeah. Anybody else from that 2019 draft class kind of look back and remember what was?
Yeah, I mean, I think the most disappointing pick is Drew Samia, without a doubt, because when you picked him early in that 4th round, if I recall, he was on everybody's board, like Mel Kiper's top 5 available going into day 3. And then you got Drew Samia, kind of a Wyatt Davis situation where people were saying, hey, he was a 2nd-round value. They got him in the 3rd or they got him in the 4th. Well, there's probably a reason why that happened, right, in both of those cases. And Drew Samia, just a guy who never got it figured out, never had the right attitude from things that I heard and observed. That was definitely a big miss, and I know they were counting on him to fill a starting spot in at least year 2. So for that to be a complete whiff, you're only getting 15 total games out of him. I don't know how many starts there were in there, just a handful. Not a good selection there in the 4th round.
Yeah, it says he played in 15 games. I don't know if he started any of them. We'd have to go back and look. But
it says 4 starts on his reference page.
So if you backed me up into a corner, said, Luke, you got to pick one guy that you think will still be on the team in 2023 from these entire 12 draft picks in this 2019 class, you know who I'd say? Olabisi Johnson, I think, has the best shot of being the only guy that comes back when you look at this list of Bradbury, Irv Smith, Madison, all the guys that you mentioned. Madison, kind of hitting on Kene Nwangu and then drafting Ty Chandler. Seems to be there's some writing on the wall for Madison not to return as well. We'll see how all that plays out, though. As we get into training camp again, almost 1 week away, 57 days until week 1 of the NFL season.